Man United won, Chelsea won. Before the game, we all would have taken that. We played decently well against a team that's been by far the best team so far this season, or certainly far better than United. We've been terrible. We've dropped points. We've looked poor every time we played against basically anyone in the top half. And yet somehow I almost feel not disappointed, but not fully satisfied there.
No, I mean...
1-1, but it felt like we could have had more than that, didn't it?
Yeah, we've put 2 points dropped on the thumbnail, and, it depends on your perspective. You can look at glasses half full, glasses half empty. But it does feel a little bit frustrating because, we were ahead. We weren't. I mean, it's not like we had loads of possession. Chelsea had a lot of the ball. They were getting at us, but I had a feeling that we could see this out. We'd be all right here, and then to concede the way we did as well was very, very frustrating because it was a soft penalty to concede. Whichever way you look at it, whether you think it's a penalty or not, it's very soft. And then also, and I don't want to hate on him because I don't think he was too bad today, and he's sort of, I've been impressed of late with him somewhat. At least he's been up for it. But Fred towards the end there, you've got Ronaldo waiting, you've got Jesse waiting. Yeah. It's a gift. It's a simple pass, and Ronaldo's not gonna miss that. That for me is a winner. And he tries to chip Mendy from 25 yards out, wherever it was, and just passes it into his hands. It was that for me was like the point where it tipped it over for me being sort of happy to being a little bit disappointed because that could have been a massive 3 points for us. Because let's face facts as well, regardless of what goes on in Rangnick, we can't keep dropping points because we need to get this top 4. And I know, you think, we'll be all right for top 4, but Arsenal are getting their act together. West Ham, I know they lost to City today, but have looked good of late. You don't want to keep dropping points, so it is just a little bit disappointed that we didn't have that big result today because it could have been such a big result.
Yeah, it could have. And I thought, second half especially, United came into the game much more with good. That's what we wanted, wasn't it? First half, look relatively steady, look relatively stable, and stay in the game. Don't get embarrassed. We keep getting embarrassed whenever we play big teams. And we weren't embarrassed at all. And Chelsea had better chances. They had more of the ball. I understand all that. But the biggest chance of the game by far was United's goal. Running through 2 on none, just 2 people running through straight on the goalkeeper. Sancho took it himself in the end, put it past the Mendy as he fell over. But that was by far the biggest chance of the game. Chelsea had nothing close to that in terms of chances. Obviously, they got their goal from the penalty, which to me, it was one of them. After he'd given it, I knew they weren't going to overturn it because there was contact there. He does swing a leg, he doesn't get the ball, and he does kick him, which, on the face of it, when you phrase it like that, well, it must be a penalty then. But to me, it wasn't a penalty. I think there was some contact, but not enough to foul him, not enough to knock him over, not enough to trip him. Or there's no way kicking him the way he did would hurt him enough to make him go over or trip. It was just they were both swinging the leg for the ball. Wan-Bissaka got a bit of the back of his foot. Again, it just didn't feel like a penalty, but I knew they were going to give it, or I knew he wasn't going to overturn it. And it just felt light. It just felt like the ref was looking for something to give, which I know obviously he shouldn't be doing that, and he probably isn't going out thinking I need to give Chelsea a penalty, but it was just one of those ones where no one really seemed to think it was a penalty, and then all of a sudden a penalty's been given.
Yeah.
But I was impressed by United. I was impressed by United's press. I was impressed by how we do genuinely seem to have different things going on than we did under Ole. Like this team tonight, and the Villarreal team as well, but to a lesser extent because obviously it was 48 hours. We haven't played like this under Ole much recently. Like this didn't look like an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer team. And that, you have to give some credit to Michael Carrick for that. We pressed much better than we did under Ole. I think even the sort of patterns of play of playing it out from the back were good. Sometimes that was let down by individuals unable to make 5 and 6 yard passes. I thought McTominay was guilty of that at times. Fred was. Wan-Bissaka consistently struggling to make obvious short passes to feet. Bruno as well was doing it actually. So I'm not just trying to pick out the sort of usual candidates for that. But that's what seemed to let us down. The fundamentals and the foundation seems to be in place for playing out from the back in a slightly more coherent way than we'd seen in recent weeks under Solskjaer. So I was impressed by that. But again, you can't win every game. I just thought we had done enough to kind of get over the line there. You look at the expected goals and stuff. I know Chelsea's is 2 and ours is 0.8 or whatever it is. But you watch that game, we had by far the best chance of the game. They never really created much after we scored our goal. And I think really, without saying we deserve to win, I think we're unlucky not to, if you know what I mean. Even though Chelsea, we'd probably say on the balance of things, deserved a draw. The way the actual game went, chance for chance, I think we you could argue that we deserved a bit more out of that today. But much better performance. the sort of performance I hoped for but didn't really expect. And I'm glad that we've got a point, but it's weird, isn't it? Thinking we probably could have had more than that.
Yeah, it is. And like going into this game, I think you predicted a draw. I did the preview. I predicted a draw as well. Yeah. And I even said that was my heart ruling my head. So going into the game, I'd have thought, a draw would have been a decent result considering the form we're in. It's just the nature of it. And maybe I'm being a little bit negative, but it just feels like I've had so much deflation recently in the league. Just, bad results and bad performances. And then when you have an actual performance that's working, and I'm not saying it was a great performance, but it was an effective one. Yeah. We were getting at him on the counter. Like you said, it was 2 against none. All right, Jorginho's give us a bit of a gift, but I always felt like we could have got another one.
And that was the pressing, though, that made that. The 2 nearest players to Jorginho, as the ball is coming down from 30 yards above him, are Rashford and Sancho. That's good.
No,
they forced him into that touch. If they're not there, not only would he not be punished for having that touch, I don't even think he makes that touch because you've got that. There's no pressure on him.
There is. Like you say, there is a point there. You putting on pressure on him, and Rashford and Sancho look good. And I was a little bit surprised when Money came on. I said it at the time in the watch along. I know it's Cristiano Ronaldo, so it's not like I'm going to start spitting my dummy out because the GOAT's coming on. But I thought Sancho was playing well, and I thought he was causing them problems. And I thought his tail was up because he just got his goal, his second in 2 games. You could see he was full of beans. When he got hold of the ball, he was running with it. And I just thought, okay, is this going to sort of, I don't know, maybe just lose our momentum, our rhythm? We saw it against Everton, where Ronaldo came on and we just lost a little bit of rhythm. And I think that it would have worked out fantastically. And I don't want to keep labouring the point, but I think we could have played him in at the end there, Ronaldo, but obviously that wasn't to be. I'm going to get in some super chats. Abhishek says, is this the start of the upturn in our form? These games can help players to remember they can get the results if they put in the work. Abhinav Verma as well says, Wan-Bissaka needs to read passing for dummies. I'll get to that in a minute. Burnside is back, says, you cannot tell me Shaw and Maguire make that effort better. Thought Bailly and Tellez were much better.
I don't think you can say whether Maguire and Shaw would have had a better game than people who play. I don't agree with that when it's a player that I don't think would help, and I don't agree with it when it's a player I do think would help. I think it's unfair to say, don't tell me this player would have been better than that, because we don't know. The same way I won't, I don't like the whole, you should have played this person instead because of this. You don't always know, you can't possibly say whether Maguire and Shaw would have been better.
No.
I think they were. I thought Bailly and Tellez were fine. Yeah, they did well.
David De Gea, speaking after the game, says we were conceding a lot of goals, a lot of chances, playing very poor, but now we are defending well and fighting for every ball. That is the minimum. I am proud of the team. There was, in terms of effort, I mean, I know it's a basic argument, but it's what we've been crying out for. You looked at the game against Liverpool and against City and against Leicester. There was question marks about effort. Watford as well. There was I can't really fault the players in effort today. I can't really look at it and go, you weren't trying, you weren't up for it. Yes, Chelsea had more possession. Yes, they had more chances, but A, they're at home, you'd expect it, and B, the top of the table for a reason. But I thought in terms of 50-50s and fighting and putting in the effort and clearing our lines and all that, there was definitely a sort of upturn in the amount of energy that United had.
Yeah. My only worry with that is, and I agree with exactly what you've just said there.
Yep.
My worry is we are seeing maybe some of the fundamental quality limitations of certain players in key areas. Wan-Bissaka, we were saying it on the watch along. I actually think he's decent at crossing the ball. I think his crosses into the box are quite good.
Yeah.
Not world class, but not shit. He's not. I don't think he's a bad attacker. I think he's bad, and maybe really bad, at building the play out.
Yeah.
His short passing, when he's got players pressing him to sort of 1-2s into the centre mid or into Sancho, is awful.
Yeah.
He gives it away so much. His first touch is poor and his passing is really bad. And that's my concern with him. Not when pass the ball out to him level with the 18-yard box, you can get a good cross in. Yeah. But on the halfway line, when you try and play 1-2s out, no good at all. Fred, another one, decision-making, passing, short 5-10 yard passes, seems incapable of doing it and has done for basically his whole career. He had some really good moments today, Fred. And that's the problem with him. He's world-class at some things, and he is amateurish at other things.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, because in games where all he needs to do is the things he's good at, which is pressing hard, which is being dogged, never giving up, reading the game pretty well as well. I'm not going to make out it's all just effort-related things. He's got good qualities and good skills. But when he has to pass the ball, and heaven forbid pass it forward, he's at a sort of conference-level player. And that's not good enough. McTominay, another one, a decent game today, but he doesn't really have passes in his locker. He can't play the ball out from the back. You look at the defensive midfield for Chelsea. I know that, it's a 1-1, so I'm not going to go on about how great they were. But the person who tends to play deepest for Chelsea when everyone's fit isn't Kante, it's Jorginho.
Yeah.
Because he can pass. he's not as good at tackling. He's not as dogged as Kante is, but he can pass the ball. We don't have the player that can do that. Matic does it pretty well, but sometimes in those middle of the pitch areas, we just give the ball away too much.
Yeah.
And I don't know what a better set of tactics can really do about that, because the times when the pass is on, we're just incapable of making it, and that's hard to sort of rectify when your players can't pass the ball 10 yards reliably. That's really difficult, and maybe it's one of those things it's so fundamental and so obvious that they don't train it very much.
Yeah.
Maybe they could improve it that way, but our midfield really struggles to pass the ball, and maybe Donny would be better at that, bringing him in for that kind of role. But like Fred, his decision making at the end there, like you said, we win the ball back. He does really well, intercepts the ball, the pass from Mendy.
Yeah.
30 yards out, you've got Jesse Lingard making a run to the near post. You've got Ronaldo at the back post, and what you try and do is something in your professional career you've never done before.
Yeah.
That is chip a world-class goalkeeper from 30
And
yards
also,
out.
just on that, where Mendy's position was, it wasn't even calling for a chip.
No, he's like 5 yards out.
Yeah, he wasn't like on the edge of the 18-yard
No.
box where you think, I can get one over on him here. It was like, even if it would have had to go straight up and straight down to get over
I
it.
remember Ramirez for Chelsea.
In Barca. Yeah.
That's what he needed to do. And how difficult is that
And
to
also,
do?
yeah, you're right. It was that similar sort of, but even then the keeper was a bit further out, I think. Mendy there, I mean, I don't even think Ronaldo could have chipped him from there, or Cavani, who's got that in his locker, let alone Fred. And when you look up and you think, even if you're just giving it to Jesse to push on, and Jesse can push on and get a shot off, or you're squaring it or passing it over to Ronaldo, who's in acres of space. I think he was anyway.
But again, it's almost as though he doesn't trust himself to make a 5-yard pass. So instead he does the risky thing, because if he does the simple thing and gets it wrong, there's no real benefit to that at all. Whereas if you do the risky thing and get it right, you've scored. So
I just wonder. I don't know if it's the other way around though, and it's just that an overconfidence in him, where he just thinks,
surely not.
Well, we see him shoot all the time from silly angles, and 30 yards out. I've seen him shoot for at one point, miles away, and then laughing and stuff. And you think, come on, bro, what like? Have you got any self-awareness? I don't know. Maybe he did not have enough confidence in him, or we'll never know.
No.
Alex Lilly says, Joe, myself, Gaz, Louise and Rachel are sat in the cannon watching your in-depth analysis of the match. Just wanted to say hi and keep up the good work.
Cheers, lads. That's all my mates from Worksop.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Hey, the Worksop massive in the house.
Everyone.
Abdullah Ibrahim says, it was a little disappointing at the end as I thought we could have won. Yeah. Chelsea did have a 2.5 XG, but that was by spamming shots, not creating chances. Looking forward to how Ragnick will improve us. Yeah, there was a little bit of element of Chelsea just throwing it in, just shooting at one point from all angles. Alan Jarvis says, Jay, all in all, I think we have the better team out there on paper. With quality coaching, this team could fly. We were saying that before the before kickoff.
Yeah,
like there was. I know Chelsea are missing Kante and Lukaku only came off the bench and Mount wasn't starting. But United had an 11 that could challenge Chelsea. There wasn't, and we're missing players. We're missing Cavani. We're missing Mason Greenwood's not fully fit. We're missing Raphael Varane, who's Pogba. Raphael Varane, Maguire.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, it's like tat for tat, really. Yeah. They could go, well, we're missing, Lukaku, and we go, we're missing Varane. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's levels to it all. So, do you think Anthony's got a point there that with the right coaching, this team could actually, I think we've maybe this season been sort of had our expectations lowered where we should be much higher up the table. Yeah. We should be challenging near the top.
I think as well it's a pretty good showing of the fact that we do actually have a decent squad now. Like a very quite deep sort of highly...
Just looking at this Fred chance to get Ronaldo. It's you're right. I don't know whether he just doesn't feel confident. Just showing the Fred chance, again, if you can call it a chance. Mendy gives him a gift. You've got Jesse there. It's on for Ronnie as well. It is.
Can't pass.
No, it's so bad.
We actually have a good squad. And we've got 5 or 6 key players injured here. Like we said, Pogba, Varane, Shaw, Maguire, Cavani, Greenwood, all out, all unavailable. All players that you could feasibly say start in a first 11 for Man United. And we're not at no point up until the game or during the game did we have a conversation about United's injury crisis. If we had all those players out last season, or in 2 seasons ago, we would have a team of second string reserves playing. We've still got all sort of international players, top class players playing. We've got a much deeper squad than we used to have, which is why the expectations have been so high this season. But yeah, I think a relatively comparable team to Chelsea's. If we had maybe slightly more competent players in specific areas, we might have had a better chance of holding the game. But we're also between managers, between tactics, between styles at the moment, it's never going to be easy to just go to Stamford Bridge and control the game. I think we did all right, really.
I'll get in some of the comments as well. Chelsea got lucky with that pen, says G-Shred.
Yeah.
Logan99 says that chip pissed off Ronaldo. Fred, other than that, did well, to be fair. Someone said that. To be fair, Fred did play really well, and that was his best game. I think if you look at our performance, it wasn't amazing, but it was a good performance by a lot of our players. Hence the reason we, a team that's flying, we were almost disappointed. Well, we are disappointed. We didn't beat them. So I don't think there was many bad performances there. Someone saying, Nick Raj says, Bailly much better than Maguire, and so it proved today. I don't know about that. I think on his day, the thing with Bailly is on his day he's mint, but on his day is once every few months, and also he's injured constantly. You cannot rely on a defender who's injured almost every month.
The problem is, even if you said Eric Bailly is our first choice centre back, every time he's fit he plays. Harry Maguire still plays 25 games a season.
He does. Like last season when Eric Bailly had them 6 games where he was mint. Yeah. He was absolutely spot on. I think was it the Aston Villa game where he was getting hugged and everything. And I remember chatting to someone and they were saying about, do you think United, we went top of the league, I think then, have a chance? And I said, if Bailly kept up this form and stayed fit, we might have a chance. If Pogba doesn't get injured, we have a chance. If so many different variables, and then a week later, Bailly was out for like a month. Yeah. And it's like, you can't rely on a player like that. Adam Mazinger says, somebody man of the match. That was the official verdict. Hit that like button as well, everyone. It's only 200 likes. Give us a like. That was the official verdict. Did you agree with it? Sorry. Did you think McTominay was our man of the match?
I thought Matic was better than McTominay. I thought it was okay. I thought they were all okay. I didn't think anyone was awful. I thought Wan-Bissaka was maybe the sort of the least productive, least exciting, least kind of impressive player. But I didn't think that McTominay stood out particularly. I thought Sancho was excellent second half, but obviously came off. You're not going to get man of the match if you only play 60 minutes. I just thought they were relatively solid, and most of the players had a good game. Bruno wasn't impressive either. Actually, I put him alongside Wan-Bissaka.
He was. I love Bruno, but that was probably one of his worst games for us. That.
Yeah, it was poor.
Yeah, he kept giving the ball away. I thought it was weird because I thought for that first half there wasn't a lot of players that had a particularly great game. Second half, a lot of players kicked on. I thought Lindelof's second half was much better. Yeah. I liked Matic. Some people slanging off the comments. I thought he had a good game there, Matic. I think he did a lot of the...
Yeah, it was good.
You look at what he was doing. Like you were saying, Fred and McTominay were getting a bit more forward. I know McTominay dropped back a little bit as well. But Matic, I just thought he did that sort of job relatively well. And, Chelsea, yes, they had a lot of the ball, but they didn't have lots of clear-cut chances.
No. And he's still the best on the ball of our midfielders.
He is.
In those deep positions. Even better than Pogba, I think, at not giving the ball away 20 yards out from his own goal. I think he's excellent at that.
Samuel Fernando says Matic masterclass. Mika Kimbia says Bailly was rock solid. It's mad, isn't it? Because you've got 2 comments here. Tyler says Fred was bad. Brian says Fred man of the match.
Yeah, exactly.
It was one of those where I think there was a lot of performances out there that were probably like 7 out of 10. Mm-hmm. And we've not said that. After the Liverpool game, I think the best performance was probably Mason, who was about 4. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone was on 2s and 3s. It was just dire. Do you know what I mean? City wasn't much better. But you look there today and you'll say, maybe it might be, I don't want to be overly harsh, but say Bruno was about a 5. Other than that, I think there was lots of 7s there. People just doing the job they were asked to do. Mm-hmm. And Wan-Bissaka was a bit wasteful in possession. And we've dug out Fred for that chance at the end. But overall, I thought the performance was pretty solid.
Yeah, the thing is, Fred did loads of good things.
Yeah, he did. I don't want us to make it just about that chip.
No, and that's why I said Wan-Bissaka wasn't impressive. Or was the least impressive, because Fred did lots of impressive things, winning the ball back, really tenacious. That one of the first half where he made like 2 great tackles back to back in a sea of about 3 Chelsea players. But then he does those stupid things as well. That's the problem with him, is he's this good at some things and this bad at other things. There's not a sort of a general consistency with him. But he is excellent at certain things, and hopefully we can find a system that pushes those things or allows him to do the things he's good at more often. And maybe, certainly while he's still here, because he seems like he keeps getting picked. We'll see what Rangnick thinks to him. But if he's going to be playing, you need to emphasise and make a system where he does as many of the things he's good at as often as possible.
Yeah, Rangnick, this is it. He could be in, could he, tomorrow?
Yep.
The reports that we might have to wait a little bit longer. No! Dave McDonald's in the mirror saying that he's all right. Saying that...
What's he got to do anyway?
I know, it's just work permits. You don't need a work permit. Just come as a placement.
Just pay him cash in hand.
Just say, like, I'm not working. I'm just there observing and just giving advice and just telling these players where to play and what tactics to use.
We're not doing like an exchange student thing.
Yeah, we'll send Kieran McKenna over to Locomotive.
Yeah.
And we'll have Rangnick for a week.
I still don't get that. I just think, come over on holiday. You get what you get 3-month visa or something for an holiday. Yeah. 2 months.
Do you remember when we couldn't get Michael Essien because of work permit?
And then Chelsea got him.
That worked out well, didn't it?
One of the best midfielders of his generation. Imagine we'd have had Essien in that team. Essien and Scholes as your 2 midfield. Fuck.
Hey,
we'd have won 2 Champions Leagues.
Never mind, anyway. It's only football, anyway. Rangnick's era should start tomorrow, but in the meantime, the Michael Carrick era continues unbeaten. Let's be positive. I know it's a 2 points drop, but it's unbeaten.
And also, let's be honest in what we're seeing as well. This isn't the same performances, the same style of performances that we saw under Solskjaer. This is something different, and you have to give credit for that. Carrick, credit for that. Bloody hell. Yeah, because we're all getting carried away in the Rangnick stuff. Carrick is doing a decent job here. He's changed the way we play slightly. We're more productive. We're playing better than we were. Well done, Michael Carrick.
Well done, Michael Carrick. Well done, Manchester United. Well done, Jadon Sancho as well. Let's just give a little nod to him. A few haters chatting absolute rhubarb about him. Yeah, right. Saying he was a waste of money, all this nonsense because he didn't have any goals or assists. He's got 2 goals in 2 games now, so it shows what you lot know. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get 700,000 subscribers. Also, if you are into your Rangnick, go and check out paddockmerch.com. Check out the merchandise because we might have just, he's almost there in it, so we've got a little bit of merch there to tickle your fancy. Go and check that out. We'll have the video from Andy Tate. We'll have Adam McCullough. We'll have Stephen Alton as well. Go and check all them out.
We've also got a very special competition coming very soon as well. More information on that tomorrow.
Can't tell me now. Just whisper it to me. I'm the assistant to the regional manager.
Free chips.
Get involved in that. That's been Joe Smith. Go and check him out. Joe Smith 93. You know where to find me, Jay Motti. This has been Paddock Live. Manchester United, honours even against high-flying Chelsea. It's not all bad, is it? Thanks for watching.